It's a little bit. That's a little bit of a excruciating self-referential power,
Yeah.
Zed.
Yeah.
The power of streaming RPGs.
Yeah. Well, I always wanted to play an Excrucian, but none of the GMs ever let me. They said, you can't play an Excrucian, you have to save the world. I'm like, I want to destroy the world. Like, no, you have to save the world.
You want to play the evil campaign.
Fine.
Yeah, totally. Let's do an all excrucian campaign next time.
Yeah.
No, Excrucians are the good guys. No one understands.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, anyone's the good guy. You just have to have the same perspective as them.
Right.
People don't necessarily go out to do evil things. They just want to, advance their own agenda.
I mean, in Nobilis, there's objectively evil things.
Yes, you could literally be the power of evil.
Well, even the power of evil.
But in your view, evil isn't bad. It's
Exactly. If you're the power of evil, you can change evil.
Evil is a necessary part of creation. God made it. That's not a question in Nobilis.
True.
Only if there is a power of evil.
True.
And if there isn't, there's an Excrucian with the fake domain of evil. And then it's totally evil, sure.
Yeah, that's not excruciating. That's not excruciating enough. The what's a self-referential evil domain?
The things I've done.
Treating others as you would not.
I don't like to get all political, but the power of the presidency right now probably is a self-referential evil.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
In the fiction, all the governments are controlled by Lord Entropy, who's pretty evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember reading the description of it. That sounded really evil.
He's pretty evil.
Yeah, I mean, his hands bleed. He's definitely evil.
Yeah. You guys want to meet him tonight? We can start off at the Locust Court.
That doesn't sound fun.
That sounds great. Let's do it.
Sure. I'm down.
That's 2 versus 1. All right.
I mean, okay, so
we don't all have to be there.
Do we want to make that the Imperial Miracle we were talking about earlier? Like, Maya leaves and travels straight there?
Yeah.
With him. That could be it.
That could be it. Maya goes to confront Lord Entropy for leaving it rot for thousands of years.
Yeah, that sounds like a thing to confront someone about.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm okay with that.
Cool.
Are we all going? I mean, Phineas wants to go, but...
Well, Trek would go because Trek is exploring with Umaya.
Right.
Not sure what Sadism is all about right now.
I think...
I mean, you do have that project that this feeds into.
Yeah, I think I will go.
Okay.
Vindicated my Imperator in the eyes of heaven and all that.
Yeah.
Do we want to do a last time on?
In addition to the regular old banter?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm not very good at that because I tend to lose my frame of thought a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
But if you guys want to do
it. No, I'm good either way.
I'm good either way. There would be a lot to explain, I think.
I'll just take a page from Adam and disclaim responsibility about this. It's fine.
Let's see. The world is no longer threatened by an off-kilter move. That happened.
Yep. That's true.
Let's see.
I have a body now.
You have a body now. That happened. What's your body look like again? It's like a biker dude, right?
It's the way I envisioned it was like the circa late 1990s Mark Paul Gosselaar with a chin strap beard and white shirt with a leather jacket and tight jeans. So
right.
Interesting.
Is he a biker?
He's a gearhead. That was more the.
Yeah, I thought they were a little bit different.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He's more like a hot rodder or
Yeah.
a mechanic kind of guy.
hmm
All right, so now I'm going to
Yeah.
let you guys see my face. Oops, I have to screw up the stream for a second. That's fine.
Here we go.
And then two.
Oh, I didn't resurrect God.
Right.
Nope.
Did you find God yet?
I mean, I think I've located God, sort of. Except in the sense that I know how to get there, but I don't know where there is.
That can be frustrating.
Yeah, we have an undefined waypoint to God.
Yeah, totally.
We have a set of coordinates.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And, like, I don't think I can actually travel there. It's just a conduit for circles, but
no,
probably...
you can use I think it's a greater motion, or maybe a lesser motion to go there.
Oh, yeah, I guess I could. You're right. I hadn't thought of that. Or, like, Trek
Yeah.
could probably turn it into a path.
Yeah. Or you can just all turn
can
into
go
birds
any-
and fly to the meteor.
Yep, we could do that, too. You guys healed our Imperator.
Yep.
Yep. That is true. We did that.
And...
And change was beginning to inspire another mortal to change the Catholic Church into something.
Right. Which had some connection to, like, the deluge that was coming because the moon was off kilter, but now the moon is not off kilter. So
Right.
Yeah.
who knows what their plan is now. I also, like, I should probably talk with them about it because I'm not actually convinced yet that, like, our two plans for the Catholic Church actually conflict.
Yeah.
And Trek agreed to try to set up that meeting. So
Yeah.
we can do that at any point.
At some point. I mean, do it at the Locust Court.
Yeah.
Sure. Let me look at my Nobilis PDF and reread about the Locust Court. So, what's been going on outside the game?
I have the XCOM 2 expansion, which is
Oh.
pretty sweet. I finally lost a campaign playing through it, so I have started another one. And now I can't get past the first mission because the first mission decided to group all of the enemies into one place, which is not good. But oh well. I will eventually get it.
How do you lose XCOM? How does that... I don't understand that. I don't know anything about XCOM, to be clear.
So you losing in this case, I lost a single mission, and also the game crashed after I was done the mission. So,
Okay.
but usually you lose the mission. How does it work?
Well, you have a 99% chance of hitting everything in front of you, and you continually miss for 7 rounds. That's
Basically. Different ways you can lose. Your UFO is attacked is one option. The main way you can lose in XCOM 2 is basically the aliens are working on a secret mission called the Avatar Project, and it has a countdown, basically. Rather, a count up for stages that they complete the project. You can delay these and undo the count up, but if it gets to max, then you lose.
Right.
In XCOM 1, totally different. There was no time limit of any kind with that. But over time, you could lose funding from different countries. Because in XCOM 2, you're like a resistance trying to take back Earth from the aliens. In XCOM 1, you're trying to defend Earth from the initial invasion. And so you have various countries that's funding like the secret military XCOM project.
Mm-hmm.
And you could, if you lose enough funding from enough countries, then the project gets shut down.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like because I've only ever seen the like actual like on combat, but it's like there's 2 levels to the game.
Yes, there is the what are they called? Battlescape and something like that. Something escape, Geoscape and Battlescape are what they're called.
Cool. That's very neat.
Yeah. So basically the Battlescape is important and interesting. The geoscape is also important and interesting, but in a different way, in that it helps you improve for your battles,
Right.
as you tend to do. Yeah.
Cool. You've been playing video games. I went to 2 parks today, and I watched horses do jumping. Great.
Sounds
Nice.
fun.
It was actually the parks thing was just my kid, but horse jumping is cool. Actually, it's a very civilized sport. There's 2 things I like about it. The first is the rules are easy to understand. The second is that you can drink. Well, you watch horses jump. So it was great. One of my clients is like a sponsor for, Primark. You would know this, for Spruce Meadows,
Yeah.
which is like a horse jumping area around here. So they were doing a little buffet, and we went down to support them. It was nice. It was very, very civil.
Cool.
I highly recommend it. And what's cool is you can just there's just there's like the corporate sponsor boxes, which is where we were. Then like they keep one side just open, so you can just go and it's free. And there's like a little fair that they do on the grounds there. It's great. It's fun. Nice way to spend an afternoon.
Awesome. I had a nap, which is why I overslept, because I was like, oh, good, I slept up. I woke up before my alarm. Wait, did I set an alarm? Wait, what time is it? That was my afternoon.
Napping is good. I support napping.
Yeah, naps are good.
Yeah.
I
It's a
just
better
cut
way
the
to do.
lawn.
It's
My
all
gas
better than
tank
how
got
I-
a hole in it last week,
That doesn't
Ooh.
sound good.
so I had to replace the entire thing. But fortunately, it started up, and I cut the lawn. So
Oh, good.
Nice.
Excellent. Didn't explode or anything?
no, although there was a sizable puddle of gasoline last time I ran it.
Yeah.
On the deck underneath the lightning, the spark plug.
Right.
Didn't start on fire.
Underneath the lightning.
That's how I think of it.
It works.
What have you been doing, Zen?
Well, today I took a good 5 years off my life. I'm teaching my nephew how to drive. He just turned 6.
Yep.
Yeah, that was an experience.
I've been there, and I can definitely say that driving and both different driving instructors I had when learning to drive, like professional ones, were not very helpful. Oddly
No.
enough. They were trying to teach me how to pass a test instead of how to actually drive.
Yeah, and I'm sure all the medication for the nervous disorders they've built up over the years doesn't help.
Yep.
But yeah, it's an interesting experience when you've been driving for as long as I have, and then you're like, well, no, I need you to do it the right way, not how I do it, because you're going to be graded on this and never will be again.
How's that? Stick or automatic?
Automatic. Don't want to jump a bit too far. Plus, I like my clutch. I'm going to leave it where it is, and not burn out.
But I remember
Can you
it took
drive?
me like 2 or 3 days to be able to not stall out in the middle of an intersection.
Yeah.
Well, around
I've
here, there's a
tried to
bunch of hills, and stop signs on the top of the hill are not uncommon.
Yep,
So,
yep.
getting going from that is sort of a trick.
I've tried to learn stick exactly once, and then just gave up. As well, I don't have access to a stick shift on the regular, so it's not like I have time to practice anyway.
Yeah.
And they're pretty much phased out. I mean, it used to be that driving a stick was better for gas mileage. It's not anymore because everything's computer controlled.
Yeah.
And there's no way you could be better than the computer at that. So there's really no reason to learn it anymore anyway. But
I mean,
at this point, knowing how to drive is a vestigial skill, right? Like, we'll get 10 more years out of it, and then...
Yeah, basically.
I don't know. I think that we'll continue to drive because car manufacturers don't want to take liability for accidents.
That's a thing too. Like
will it be like the what is it? Q-tips, where they say don't use the automatic drive and keep your hands on the wheel, and no one does.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Totally. Do not put Q-tips in your.
Yep. But
What else are
what
they
else are
for?
you
they're
supposed to
so
use?
earable.
It's right there on the package. It says it.
Don't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, it would be
That's
weird
all right.
looking back in history because, like, in that case, driving would have lasted only just over 100 years, which is for technology and like a everyday huge skill, not a large amount.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
look at the telephone, though, right? Like, the telephone's going to go away soon. Not like the telephone, like hard lines.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I mean, a bunch of third world countries skipped that. Like, they
Yeah,
didn't
they
have
just,
to
like-
invest in the infrastructure because they put up cell phone towers before they had line access. So
Yeah.
Right.
they just bounded right past it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So interesting to think of, like, that type of stuff in relation to Stars Without Number, which has like specific tech level of planets, because we have different tech levels around the world, and they're like, yeah, we skipped tech level 2.
Yeah, sure. Like,
Yeah.
what
Right.
happens is, like, there's going to be this big apocalypse where it's going to take all people and put them on spaceships, and, like, the Aboriginals from Australia would just go straight from spares to starship captains.
Yep,
Right. Yeah.
that
Talk
sounds
about culture
awesome.
shock.
Yeah, I want to play that campaign.
Yeah,
Well, okay.
I mean,
yeah.
we'll use Burning Wheel. Roll your starship pilot skill.
I'm just picturing like populating the Stars Without Number galaxy map with like just basing it on the fact that it was all Aboriginal settlers.
yeah, that's cool.
I was sick on Friday, so I watched like 8 episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Ah,
So there's so much of that show. There's 7 seasons. Each season has like more than 25 episodes.
Mhm.
And each of those is 45 minutes long, and most of them are crap.
Yeah,
Um,
good number of them.
Yeah. But season 7, not all of them, but like season 7 is actually good. Like the ratio when you hit season 7, the ratio flips. Like most of the time, most every other season is like 20% good episodes, 80% crap.
Mhm.
And then you get to season 7 and they're like consistently good. And I was thinking about this because Ronald D. Moore, who I think he's one of the producers for, or like the lead producer for the reboot of Battlestar Galactica.
Mhm.
I think Battlestar Galactica is just him realizing that like the best episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation was the Lower Decks, which is the one where like they follow around a bunch of like just like regular Joes on it,
Yeah,
rather than like focusing on the high level characters. And I think like just Battlestar is just him being like, oh yeah, that was the best episode. Let's just do that episode for like an entire show.
yeah, that'll work.
Well, if I go back and rewatch TNG, I tend to skip everything where Riker doesn't have a beard.
Golden, how is your Harvest Moon Burning Wheel game? I'm very curious about that. I would join if I could, but I have another game during that time.
Yeah, it's going pretty good. AP Gaming Real has to leave now because he does his own stream stuff. So we're
Yeah, I
down
think you
to
mentioned
2
that.
players.
Okay.
We're looking for a third. But it's pretty cool. The only problem is nobody's writing beliefs about farming.
It's all devolved into like conspiracies and revenge and family.
Not even
It's Game
that.
of Thrones, the farming game. Okay.
It's like they went into they just adventure all the time. They like, you know how
Like-
you can go into the caves and fight monsters?
Yeah.
It's like the majority of the time is spent doing that.
Interesting. I would
Um,
never like we tried that with Burning Wheel. It didn't really work. Huh.
Yeah, it's working pretty well, although when they
Not
tried
quite.
to activate the fast travel network, they unleashed the
Uh-huh.
winter goddess, who made herself an ice castle. So now I gotta deal with that.
Awesome. And that's a direct threat to farming.
It is. There won't be any farming if the winter goddess
If the
takes
winter
over.
just There's
be endless
Narnia
winter.
style endless
Her-
winter.
Intention is to freeze the ocean to the floor. And I told the players, this is the main quest. If you don't pursue it and do side quests, it's okay.
I see.
We'll probably just do side quests forever.
We're
But,
gonna side quest her away by having her just not be
Window
relevant.
dressing.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, guys, it's getting colder, but you're off doing this other thing. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah, there's like a current temperature track.
winter's lasted 8 months, but it's all okay. You're all growing. What do you grow in the winter in Stardew Valley? Like ice flowers and ice
This
melons?
is a prequel to like the wildlings section of Game of Thrones.
I mean,
Yeah.
my mistletoe farm is fine. I don't care what you say.
Right. We have a mushroom
Like
farm in the
we're all
caves.
investing in Christmas trees.
Yeah.
That's our farm.
Yeah.
Leeks are our winter plant. Potatoes can harvest
Yeah.
Know this.
like November.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
I mean, there's like winter wheat and other things, right? Like,
Yeah.
so
Not in Canada, there isn't.
yeah. So I can just I can moderate it how I want to. Like, it's not the end of the game. It's just not her intention to kill everybody. It's just I want to rule a
just
world
likes
covered
winter.
in snow and ice.
Yes. Like you do.
And that means there'd be plenty of relationship sims. One of the players got married to the person that sells seeds, the seed seller of the town, whose business model is, I'll buy your seeds and store them in my seed bank over the winter, and I'll sell them in the spring back to you. So that makes her a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going pretty well. I'm enjoying it. And the players are enjoying it. They're like, it's like, we know we're losing a player, but I think I want to see what happens. Let's keep playing. And that's always the best. And we had a fun roll where... So I introduced this whale that's been... It's sad. And so the town singer has been singing to it to keep it, alive.
Yeah.
But if the town singer doesn't sing to the crops don't grow as well.
And the town singer can only sing to one of them?
Right.
Sacrifice the whale for blubber.
One of the players took over and tried to sing in her place and deliberately failed the roll for a challenging test.
Awesome.
So the whale beached itself at the end of the episode.
I'm sure a whale makes for excellent compost, so I don't think this is an overall failure.
Yeah, and you get that good ambergris.
Singing was so bad, the whale literally killed itself.
Yeah. So it feels very Burning Wheel. It's a lot of fun. I mean, there is more adventuring than I would like necessarily, but it's working out. It's pretty fun.
Excellent.
It doesn't have like the normal, when we played Burning Wheel, adventuring felt like a lot of travel and didn't quite work, I think.
Yeah.
But I think because there's this meta game cave you can go adventuring in, and you still have town and all that, it works. It really makes you think like how genius Gary was to just come up with dungeons and have towns nearby that you could resupply it. Like, because dungeons solve so
nowadays
many problems.
That's a normal thing, but not before.
They just solve so many problems.
Yeah,
they don't make any sense, but
they're so useful.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like it's medieval combat and all of the like drama that comes with that, but it's without any of the messiness of there being actual anything else around except that.
Right. Because if you have a war, then the war has a clock, that's going to progress with or without your interference.
Yep.
People are going to die, important NPCs are going to die. Like, it's a lot of work to run a war.
Mm-hmm.
But you can pretty safely just randomly generate a dungeon.
Yeah.
And if something bad happens to the dungeon, you just generate another dungeon.
And that Lich's tomb isn't going to screw with anybody unless someone screws with it first. So it can remain dormant for as long as it needs.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
This is genius. I don't know where the dungeon first came from. But
I mean, given that I don't know all of the relevant source material that they had to work with in the early 70s, I would bet that some of it at least comes from like the Mines of Moria, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's most of them were like underground and stuff at that time.
But it doesn't serve the same narrative purpose, right? Like,
yeah, they weren't traveling through the dungeon. They're going in there explicitly to kill monsters.
right?
Yeah.
It's just really interesting. Like, I mean, maybe it's just as an accident, and it is just, well, the mines in Moria are cool. Let's go there.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it could be an accident, but if it is, it's like, it's at least as important as discovering things float because they're light, or whatever that guy did.
Whatever that guy did?
Archimedes? Where he jumped
You mean
in the
Newton?
bathtub and he discovered displacement of
Oh,
water.
yeah, that was Archimedes.
Mm-hmm.
It's at least as important as that. Dungeons, guys.
Dungeons are just as
Dungeons.
important as like Euclid is basically what you're saying. Like,
Yep.
modern
Second law of
advances in
thermodynamics.
mathematics.
It's really
Dungeons.
important. But yeah.